Hey, Saints fans, look, I want to take a look at Demario Davis because he's getting older, but is he getting worse? Because the truth is, if you remember, this is a man who has been pulling off multiple All-Pro awards for the past few years. Even though he's, my age, which football terms is very old, how is he playing? Or is he just the unk running around in jeans? Little denim on him. Well, we're going to cover all that in today's video. And I'll be honest, I think you probably already know the answer, but it's always good to see it on tape and see it in action, right? So let's roll the beautiful bean footage. All right, so per the normal, we're going to roll it first, let you see it, then we're going to talk about it. For me, this is a great example to answer immediately. Okay, does Demario Davis still have it? Now, let me go ahead and give you my personal thoughts on Demario Davis as somebody who has gotten to cover and study him for several years now, going back to one of my earlier videos, which was actually him coming from New York and showing what he could provide to this team. Has Demario Davis athletically slowed down a little bit? Well, the answer is undeniably yes. But what hopefully you see in this video is things that he has done to compensate for that. Look, the truth is, you're not going to be as athletic and fast at 35 as you would be at 25. But that doesn't mean there aren't ways to play faster. It's a kind of a masterclass, if you will, on Demario Davis. So this one, you're actually seeing him still having enough athletic ability to be an elite player at this league. I mean, he's carrying the wheel route up. Now, we can definitely argue that Dak does not throw this ball ahead enough to, give his guys space. That if this was a perfectly thrown ball, because you'll notice running back has to slow down. If it was a perfectly thrown ball, it might end up being a completion, but you still see Demario Davis keeping up with the route and, more importantly, recognizing the route. So when we talk about what players can do to extend their career, Sean Payton used to really talk about this in terms of evaluation as FBI, football intelligence. When we went through the scouting academy, we talked about it as mental processing, MP. So how do you understand the game? What's your football IQ? But more importantly, how do you process that? And it's little things like this that from this angle is going to be kind of tough to see. But watch as he navigates through traffic, understanding what this route is and to carry it up, which you can see him doing right there. Let's rewind it this way. And again, little things like understanding route concepts, understanding what can be presented by the opposing offense, and then simply navigating around it. Little things like that, knowing where those routes are, that split that's coming right now, which, by the way, that's designed to be a natural rub. Like, that's not coincidental. This mesh concept happening here with this double over, that's meant to cause this guy to get knocked out the play to open up a clean wheel route. So by design, Demario knows that. He does an effortless job that you probably would think, oh, that's just normal. No. That's actually meant to completely wash out the Mike linebacker to prevent him from carrying the wheel. And he just effortlessly navigates it, slips his shoulder underneath, and gets right on through. You know what? Let's just look at another play. All right, so look, there's another set of terminology I want to hit you with, and it's called click and close. Specifically, we always use it about linebackers to talk about how quickly they process information and then attack the football. Well, this is him coming in a blitz situation, forcing an errant throw. And, this is something you saw him do a lot of last year. In fact, it was in his 30s that he set his career high in sacks here with the New Orleans Saints and his career high this period. But this is the ability to get off and approach. So look, attacks that A-gap, takes on the running back, does enough to deflect the block, then force the pressure on the quarterback and kind of get a hit in. If nothing else, you force an errant throw. So I did want to make sure that I include plays that show, look, Demario Davis has not lost it all. Is he a smidge slower than he was before? Sure. But again, the way to, compensate for that, especially if you're a player who has to do a lot of movement, whether that's coverage, because they asked him to have a lot of coverage abilities, mental processing is the way to do that. So here you're going to see that this is a timed run blitz, but great job. Look how he attacks that shoulder, gets the running back turn, and then uses that momentum to flow to the inside. Again, compensating. Sometimes you might not run a 4-4 no more, but if you can do this with a great technique, you can make up for that and force an errant throw. You'll take that all day because I'll be honest, not that I'm trying to be a hater, that was probably going to be a completed pass. Like there was an opening there, right there on the side, just waiting to get hit with that underneath clear. But thanks to Demario, it wasn't. All right, so just a minute ago, I talked about having to cover a lot. And I wanted to talk about this play because you're going to actually see Demario do a coverage that New Orleans has been able to run a lot because of Demario Davis. And that's defending the hole in Tampa too. Now, I want to show this to give an example of them running the coverage. We don't have to look at this a ton. This is a huge 3rd and 18. So don't worry too much about the meandering a little bit back. But it's more of what this allows you to do because of the range they trust him with. And I wanted to do this to show you the range and help you get an idea of, at this point in his career, What do they ask him to do? What does Dennis Allen ask him to do? And the truth is a lot, right? So what you have in this coverage of Tampa 2, cover 2 is obviously pretty well known. Cover 2, too high. You get it seen a lot. In fact, Mel Kiper's going on rant saying it should be banned, which is absolutely ridiculous. But what is the Tampa 2 variant? So cover 2 is too high. Generally you can have 5 underneath. You can do cover 2 man, but generally too high. But there's a little bit of an area in cover 2 that is considered a weakness, and it's called the hole. It's this little zone right underneath where those safeties would be in the middle of the field. And if you remember, we talk all the time with a lot of cover 2 looks, we do middle of the field open. So Tampa 2 came in. Shout out to like the Bucks way back in the early 2000s. Guys like Derrick Brooks and everything came in, and you have Tampa 2, where instead of leaving an underneath middle linebacker in a short zone, we actually ask him to carry up vertical into the hole to defend that area of space. Keep in mind that for Demario Davis, this is asking him to cover essentially like a safety, but still be part of the front 7. So it can be a difficult task. Now, an obvious passing situation like this is a little bit easier, but you're going to consider the range of about 15 yards that he's going to have to defend. That's the responsibility he has with the Saints defense. Now, this play is not in any way fancy. I wanted to show it because it's a very clean look of the coverage responsibility they ask him to have. But let's take a look at another play. Okay, so here's another one, and this is where they're doing, and I'm actually going to show y'all 2 examples of this in today's video, but New Orleans is doing a lot of like scrape exchange and doing a lot of gap swapping, and this is helping put Demario Davis in positions for success. Now, sadly, my man Cameron Jordan gets driven directly off the ball. This is not a Cameron Jordan hate video, but before anybody preemptively comes and comments, yes, he gets completely driven off the ball by the right tackle. Fullback gives an assist. He gets driven back. Chase Young, however, decided he wanted to be part of the play, so he came from the opposite side, and it all works out. But let's talk about Demario Davis, where this entire video is focused on. Demario's role is pretty simple. He has outside contain. This is his area, right? But at the same time, like, you want to make a play. Now, the mistake you'll see a lot of young linebackers, whether it be high school, college, but younger career for sure, is overcommitting and attacking the gap that the play is designed to go into. You see the hat of the fullback heading into this gap. You want to go meet it. You want to fill that spot. But one big thing that you'll see with NFL defenses is they preach all the time gap integrity and to maintain your assignment. That's what he does here. Now, he's doing enough to flow in case. But I paused it specifically at this moment because I wanted to show you something. You're going to see the cut back here from the running back. But did you notice that Demario has already reacted to the cut? Like, he's seen it, and he already reacted, and he comes up. Bam. Now, it's real subtle. So I'll replay it, but watch the head of Demario Davis and his body shift with the running back. All right, right there. See how his hips have already dropped? When you see his hips dropping, he's changing his direction, right? Because if he was moving in the same, he would continue to flow in the same pattern physically. He's already adapting. He sees the cuts happening. Again, coming into that mental processing, the ability to see and then process. What is he seeing? Well, he's seeing penetration from his guys. He's seeing Pete Warner have proper outside containment for this run. He's seeing 97 eating up that big gap. Even Cameron Jordan is in the way of the lane. Even though Jordan's getting driven back, he's getting driven back into the mesh, into all the stuff. So you've also got Chase Young somewhere in there. So what does that mean? Well, he's flown to where the gap was going, but he's got a beeline for this outside, but still clean to where nobody can get him, and he flows up, makes the tackle. Little things like that. In fact, let's look at it from the opposite angle. You can see it from this side. This is what you're getting from Demario Davis is right there. See that little he recognizes? Look at just from this angle, look where the running back is. And yet Demario says, okay, I've read the play. I know where it's going. We're coming right here. And we're going to force us into being a short gain. You know, little things like this are how Demario Davis is able to maintain a high level of play at his advanced age. I don't want to feel old, so I'm going to play it off. But yeah, I'm rocking a Monroe Moccasins jersey. This hockey team is literally coming back after 20 years. I've seen some things. Okay, so I just showed a play talking about him maintaining that outside leverage in terms of him having responsibility for that outside. Well, here you're going to see it again, and this is a much more obvious version of the exchange here, because typically you would expect your outside DN here, which would be Carl Granderson, to have outside containment, as in he's probably going to be the in man on the line of scrimmage backside. But instead, they swap it, right? So now he has inside, and we're going to come outside. It's just a great job by Demario to read this play, and as you'll get the snap, there's your split zone look. You see Demario's anticipating it. So we've got this coming across the field that is intended to block whoever the end man is. Then you have everybody kind of moving in that zone to the right. So again, some things that y'all probably have seen from New Orleans, do a little bit lighter colors, so do a little bit darker. You see everybody moving together. And we have this backside coming here, that split zone type of a look. And then how does Demario respond? Maintain gap integrity. By the way, another job, a good job by Chase Young, influencing this run, by the way, because it's not just been Demario being great. It's been the team being great, strongest to run. Great job to break off front side there, come underneath. Good job by Granderson to force back, and then waiting and willing. I mean, little things like that. It's the ability to see a player who truly understands what he's looking at. That's the best way I can describe it. I can sit here and teach y'all film and be like, okay, tan, zero, tan, linebacker alignments. I can talk to you about palms coverage and, cover 3 match and all this other stuff. But I get the benefit of doing it in my air-conditioned office from the comfort of this very nice location with film and retrospect and notes to base off of this. It can take me hours to make these videos for you. And I'm not making that to make you feel bad. Just that everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm seeing, and everything that I'm relaying to you is being processed in 2 seconds with this guy. Where for me, it's taking time. And I had the benefit of getting to train in this, to work in this field, and all that cool stuff. And it's amazing to me. This guy is processing it that fast, right? Maybe I just don't think highly enough of myself, or I think too much. I don't know. I just know that when I look at guys like Demario Davis, and you can watch on the field. So I remember doing the same thing like Luke Kuechly, where you can just see they get it, and it's there, and they have almost instantaneous reaction. That's what makes this guy special. It's why he's playing at such a high level now, and I hope it persists, because honestly, he's still playing at that arguably all-pro level. Another example of click and close, this time sniffing out a screen, and then just, again, watch it. Flowing here, recognizes immediately, attacks down. Now, a lot of guys on this defense did a really good job with this play. They clearly recognized what it was, so they all reacted in turn. And it wasn't just Demario sniffing this out, but it's the little things for me. It's slipping underneath the block of the offensive lineman to get to the line of scrimmage where that pass is supposed to be completed. It's recognizing it as it's happened, because obviously by nature, screenplays are tending to be a little bit delayed to get you to buy into the pass rush, which is what happens here. And then look at this angle of him just collapsing down immediately. Click and close. So if you're a linebacker in high school and you're looking for ways to get better, Demario Davis's teach tape for understanding what's going on, attacking. And I love that this is not a guy who is fragile either. Not that I'm calling other linebackers in the NFL soft, but he's going to take on this block and shed it instead of just duck it. So there are 2 ways to attack a block when it comes to playing the linebacker position. You can stack and shed, as in you want to attack, go strength to strength, you believe you're better, stronger, faster, whatever, and then peel out. Or 2, you want to elude or duck it, right? Which you can just get down real low, especially the very athletic guys. Roquan Smith is great at doing that, to avoid the contact entirely by either going underneath or behind and around. Where Demario just says, screw it, I'm a traditional, old school, big, strong, I ate my Wheaties linebacker, and he's going to stack this center and shed him. So get right up on him, right up. See, look how he's maintained inside leverage, right? So he didn't just attack the shoulder, he attacked inside, he attacked with hands into the chest, and then he's using his drive, his leverage, his speed to make up for the fact that he's probably got 60 pounds less than this guy. Bam, underneath, right there. That's the understanding. Not only to process it, but then take advantage of what you do have, which, look, old man strength's a real thing. I can tell you, I'm 34 years old. I might not be fast. I might not have the stamina. Man, I notice I'm a little, it's a real thing. He's got it. Best thing you can say about Demario Davis, and he's truly the quarterback, the captain of the defense. And while I do, and I maintain what I'm saying without actually having showed you an example of him slowing down, I could bring out some 2018 film and show you just a little bit of speed difference, but it's stuff like this. His reaction times feel quicker, even though maybe he is a little bit slower. So he's not running in denim, y'all. He might be running in some jorts, but he's not running in denim. But he makes up for it by being arguably the fastest processor on the entire team, offensively or defensively. He reads what is happening on the football field faster than anybody. Sometimes faster than the players themselves. Faster. I felt like he reacted to this faster than Dak did coming out the pocket. Dak knows what the play is. Tight end does. Demario Davis is already running to the spot. And that's another aspect of it. It's not just, hey, make the tackle. It's make the tackle efficiently. He's running to a spot, attacks perfect right there on that tackle, and you get a no gain. But again, look how quickly he reacts. It's not that he's faster. He simply makes up for that in processing. He sees the tight end coming across, and he's running ahead, taking a better angle. Just it's fantastic. Everything is right. It's literal teach tape. In my opinion, Demario Davis is the greatest Saints linebacker to ever live. In terms of the linebacker that can do it all. He can rush the passer, he can cover, and he can attack the gaps, running downhill as a run defender. Now, I'm not meaning to start like a debate on who's the greatest Saints linebacker. It's simply to say that what he's doing is abnormal, is incredibly impressive. It's shocking, honestly. And we don't see guys manage to maintain this level of success at this depth in their career almost ever, right? It's not something that's common, but you're seeing it be common with Demario Davis. And I do want to bring up a legendary Saints linebacker, pass rusher, Ricky Jackson. And why do I bring up Ricky Jackson? Ricky Jackson's final Pro Bowl and final All-Pro, he was 35 years old. It was 1993 with New Orleans. 35, still made the second team All-Pro, still made the Pro Bowl. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because Demario Davis. And it matters because Demario Davis just came off an All-Pro season. Second team All-Pro, sure. But he just came off second All-Pro season. I think he could be that same thing. He's 35 this year. So it's rare to see these type of guys manage to extend their careers and have levels of success that you see with Demario Davis. How far he goes, I don't know. He has registered a sack this year. I don't know if you knew that, but it was one of those like, oh, the quarterback ran out of bounds, so he got credit for it. But we'll take it. Whatever we can do to give my man some stats. But what he shows is special. And what it shows to you as a player, if you're out there in terms of what can make your career better, mental processing. The ability to understand the game can sometimes be better than simply being a better athlete. And that's kind of Demario's story. He's a great athlete. It's crazy to think that this is his 7th year with New Orleans, y'all. 7. He's been with New Orleans now longer than any other team in his career and any other teams in his career. And I honestly think he's just as good as when he came in 2018. Shocking to hear, I know. But this is a man who's made 5 straight All-Pro teams. So hopefully the season can continue in the same vein. Let me know what you thought about watching this. If you enjoyed the video, comment down below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.